Hey everybody, this is Cave Dweller. You ever watch any of my videos about rifles? I've talked about flyers in a group being 99.9% indicator of bad bedding. Stand that ground 100%. We're going to glass bed one here today. It is a Ruger M77 laminated stock, good footing, good rock solid stock to begin with. It's chambered 22 Hornet. Seen one of my other videos on a CZ 22 Hornet, excellent gun. Just always wanted a Hornet. Did some trading. Here's what we're dealing with. Stuff that this rifle has already shot. That's factory Hornady ammo right there. Basic thumb size group. Throws 3 of them out there in limbo land. Another one there. Fingernail size group. Flyer. Another finger size group with a flyer. A little bit bigger group, flyer. Notice these here. Some of them throw flyers to the left. Occasionally, I pulled that barreled action out of the stock, put it right back in there. Sometimes that'll take care of it. You seat the barreled action back into a different place in the stock. It'll actually shrink these down. This one here actually went from throwing flyers to the left, threw flyers to the right. Throws flyers nonetheless. We're going to glass bed this. We're going to take those flyers, bring them right back into the group. This thing's going to shoot like $1 million. What we're using, Miles Gilbert. It's a Wheeler Engineering kit that they put together. Quick rundown here. Most important part, instructions. Read them 3, 4, 5 times. If you still don't understand it, read it 3, 4 more times. The basis of it is your hardener and your resin. These will be mixed 50-50 equal always. There is some dye if you want to match the color of your stock, brown and black. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Some mixing cups, some little spoons, measuring spoons. Like I said, this stuff is mixed 50-50 exactly. 3 different ones depending how big of a void you have to fill, what kind of material you're going to deal with. Modeling clay. Any and all bolt holes, screw holes, any cavities under there where the bedding could get in there and lock your action into your stock, we're going to fill with modeling clay. This stuff all comes together in a kit. This is probably the most important stuff. It's called release agent. Use these cotton dobblers, cotton jobbers, whatever you call them, and you coat your metal. Anywhere that's going to be near that epoxy, you coat your steel, and it's a release agent. This is exactly what it says. You can pull that back out of your stock when you're done. You don't leave that, you don't use this, you just glued your gun together without breaking your stock, you're not going to get it apart. That said, let me get this thing tore apart a little bit and we'll get going. Okay, before we get too far along, one of the first things you need to do is actually get the stock fitted to the rifle, the barrel, the channel, everything that we need to do. Ruger, instead of going with the glass free float barrel, you make a couple 100,000 rifles a year or however many they make. They leave what I call right here in the very front a bridge in their stock. It's actually about, I don't think it's an 1/8 inch tall, 3/32. It puts upward pressure on the barrel. Mass producing something, making large quantities of them, it works out. They get better accuracy across the plane. We're not working across plane, we're working individual rifle. We're going to free float this. You don't have to go buy a bunch of tools. Take some heavy grit sandpaper, wrap it around a dowel. Just start sanding that out of there. Don't get carried away. We're not going left, we're not going right, we're going straight down and only on that piece right there. And just keep dropping your action in there. Just keep dropping that action in there, and when you get to the point where you have clearance, that's your good. We've got our barrel channel worked out to be free float. Everything is in here. And I'm going to show you what we're doing here. We got this much motion in this thing. That's manufacturing tolerances. You have to have them. We're going to take that manufacturing tolerance, we're going to reduce it to absolutely 0 to a perfect fit. This gun is a little bit different than most. Normally, your recoil lug is right here and it's butting into. In the case here, your magazine sets in there, so your recoil lug is not up to the wood. The recoil lug is in effect is right here in the back of the hole in the stock for the magazine. So the big question, does your recoil lug butt up against the stock, or is it being limited by the tang back here? We're going to fill everything with glass and it's not going to make any difference. In the back, the tang is going to center everything back here. Up front, you can see we had motion forward, backward. We also have left to right. We're going to take nothing more than electrical tape and we're going to wrap it around, and that's going to create a perfect fit, and it's going to be free floated exactly the same from left to right, top to bottom. That's going to center on the back, tang in the center on the front, tang in the back. We're going to glass bed everything in the middle. It's going to work out great. Okay. Nothing more than electrical tape. You can use masking tape, but from my experience, it's being more like a paper. It does not stretch and follow the contour. You have a tapered barrel. And when you do this, you want to start on the top and you want to end on the top. That means you got exactly the right side and the left side are exact thicknesses. It's not going to take very much. We're going to go that much, and you can always add more or take some away. If you got too much, you fit it. You do it right the first time because we're only going to do this once. Hey, that was 3. We are almost looking at perfect fit. One more thing you want to do with the putty. Yeah, we'll cut that out when we get there. The big question, how much material do you actually have to mix up? How much, when you start putting it in there, are you actually going to put in there? Just take small BB sized pieces of it. We're going to bed everything right around here. There's the bolt coming up from the bottom. Left, right, we're going to lock it in there this way because this tape is not going to be there in the future. About 1 inch approximately, maybe a little more, maybe a little less of that barrel will be supported. Around the tang, this will all be filled in. Everything out here is free floated, or floated out. Okay, just take a couple of BB sized pieces of this stuff. Uh-oh, come back here. Yeah, this one's bigger, let's go that way. And drop it in there and squeeze it down tight. There you go. That's how deep your bedding is going to be. This is absolutely squished down to almost nothing. It's going to take very little around the tang. And approximately 3/32 of an inch up here. You can see the dent from this piece in the wood, so you know we have nothing there. So we're going to correct that just a little bit. We're going to take a Dremel. We're just going to rough all this up. You know, this is sprayed with a sealer. We want this epoxy to stick 110%, so we're just going to rough up a little bit where this epoxy is going to stick. We want it sticking to the wood, not to the metal. Okay, we're taking the Dremel and we just lightly scuff things up, give that epoxy something to stick to. I've got her all prepped up. I've taken nothing more than masking tape, painter's tape, you know, plain old stuff. Any place you don't want the excess oozing out of, you cover that up, take your X-Acto knife, work out your corners, your radiuses. Any place that stuff is going to ooze out, cover it. This stuff is sticky, it's hard to clean up. So prepping your work is 90%. Cover everything up, every place we're going to put glass. We're going to put it right down in the very toe of that hole out there, the radius, and that's going to hold that back in 100%. That tape we put on the front of the barrel, that's going to hold the front. What we're going to do, we're in a glass bed, like I said, just a touch there. These here little tag pieces here, They're straight across from one another, and that's going to, when we're done, we're going to show bedding from here all the way to here. We're going to fill in that gap. It's going to look very, very, very good. The only place we're going to have total coverage is down in the barrel channel. Some in here. We're going to put just enough on the side here to fill that crack, make it look like it's done right, done full. There's going to be nothing down low in this corner right there. It's not needed. We got more than enough in the bottom of this barrel to hold everything rock solid, keep it from moving. Okay, our stock is 100% prep. Now we got to prep the action. We're going to take the modeling clay, molding clay, whatever you call it. Any place you don't want epoxy, as in your holes, that's the hole for the front bolt. Fill it full of putty. That hole is for the magazine. That's our rear bolt, tang bolt. Okay, now it's time. You'll take release agent, dip this stuff in there, and you will coat everything that's going to be anywhere near epoxy. When that stuff dries, it's almost like a layer of saran wrap on there almost. It cleans up easy. However, I like things that are easy. I like them that are fast and simple. This stuff right here, Hornet One Shot, absolutely the best release agent I've ever come across. Aerosol, you spray it down, it gets into every nook, every cranny, works like $1,000,000. Absolutely only thing I use on bedding jobs anymore. Okay, you let that stuff set about 4 or 5 minutes and it dries up. I give it 2 coats of that, and works like $1,000,000. Best thing they ever invented. All right, we got our stock prepped. We got the metal prepped. We are ready to mix. This stuff, you get your little cups here. Guesstimate how much you're going to need. This cup right here would be more than enough. That's the smallest, closest one I got, so I'm going to mix. This stuff is 50-50. Hardener, resin, resin, hardener. Exactly. Fill them both full. Do not ever contaminate one with the other. Keep stuff clean. The stuff will last you a long time. It's got a heck of a shelf life. You contaminate it, you ruin it. There's a cup full. Put down towels, put down paper, whatever it takes. This stuff is incredibly sticky. I just merely wrap that one up in paper towels. You're going to throw it away anyway. We're going to use the other end. Okay, you mix this stuff. And you mix it complete. I think if you read the instructions, it says start mixing in a minimum of 2 minutes. Do not stop. It has to be 100% blend. All right, we're mixed up. This is what it is called, gel. It pretty much stays where you put it. There's other kind of epoxies out there. They get real runny. You put it someplace, they run away. It don't work worth crap. We're going to fill in everything here. Okay, I think we're more than enough there. Some of that's going to come back on us. We're going to take very, very little, like I said, around the hole, the front bolt. We already had metal to wood contact. We just took out a little bit there with the Dremel, just to give it something to stick to, and we'll have 100% contact. If we had anything less than that, we are going to have it now. We're just going to fill in these sides right here. This is going to be more cosmetic than anything else, just so it looks really good. Give us a little bit of support. But with that barrel channel sitting there the way that is, support is not something we need. That's going to be everything we need is going to be right there. But we also want it to look good. On the rear tang, like I said, it's not going to take very much. You watch what you're doing, you can almost see a void, an air bubble in the making. Work that stuff in, work it around. There's going to be so much of that in there. If there is somewhat of a small air bubble, it's going to have zero effect on your accuracy, because this is going to be 100%. Okay, a recoil lug is right here. We're going to fill that in. The bottom of that action, right behind that recoil lug, we're going to give it just a little bit. Right there. If you get too much of this in the future, and we will do that because I know there's going to be more than I want, you take your Dremel and you clean things up. Clean it up, dress it up. If you got too much, on the other hand, if you don't have enough, you simply whip up another batch of it and you fill in what you were short in the first place. Okay, we have got the metal prepped. We got it sprayed down with Hornet one-shot. Garbage can for that guy. We got it sprayed down with Hornet one-shot. We got a good bunch of it in here. We got a bunch there, right there, a recoil lug, and the rear tang area. We're going to drop that bad boy in there. It's going to goo out. It's going to go everywhere. It's going to fill in. We're going to have an absolute perfect 100% contact. We're going to start in the back, push it back. We're going to drop her right down in. There we be. A little on my finger. We're setting on the tape on the front. In there. There is no reason to put the bolts in, to pull it down in there. Gravity is doing its trick. In this kit, I forgot to tell you, it does come with surgical tubing. You wrap that around there and lock it down. It'll pull that bugger down in there. We're just going to let gravity do its job right here. Now the most important part, you let it set and you go fishing for about 2 days. This thing has been setting here for 2 full days, almost 2 full days. I'm sure she's set up 110%. You want to leave it at least 1 full day. The stuff does have to cure before you start shooting it. Little mouse gun, maybe 2-3 days. If you got a big heavy belter, big recoiling, you want to set them, leave them a week. Don't push it, let them cure. Okay, remember what we did. Tape, tape, tape. We're going to pull that out of here. Normally, the first time you take them out, if you have something like a Remington 700 where your recoil lug is in here, you're going to have glass in the front, glass in the back. It's going to be boxed in there. They come out a little tight, a little wiggling to get them out. This one, our recoil lug, is actually in effect back here, and you have no coverage really up here. I think this is going to come apart rather easy. I might be wrong. We're going to find out right now. Little wiggling on the front. Oh hell, that's super easy. There is no anything except Hornet one-shot. No glass, no nothing. Nothing stuck to that barrel. Nothing stuck to the action. This is where it stuck. This is the nuts and bolts of what we did. We said we thought with the putty we're going to be about 3/16 of an inch deep in there. That's about what that is. We now have a fully supported barrel. The first inch or so, 2 fingers worth, all the way from here to here, there's nowhere for that barrel to go. It can't go left and right anymore. It's down in that it's a round down into a round. We do have some up in the shoulders here, over the shoulder here. That was to fill in the gap, make it look a little bit better, cosmetic more so than anything. Where our lug is, like I said, we're going to take a drill bit, clean them holes out where the bolts come back through. We took a Dremel, we just scratched off a little bit. We now have 100% coverage with glass bedding. Back here, our lug, you can see that filled in rather well. We're a little bit off center on this, doesn't make any difference. Just being a little bit there. Our hole here is in the center, this is in the center, everything is coming straight down. It's not like this is putting pressure on one side, not the other, because it's being locked into something that was liquid. It is now solid. Back in the tang area, as far as that little bit of overflow in here, we'll just take a Dremel, clean that up. I'm going to put it together. If it doesn't interfere with the magazine going in and out, I might just leave it. Back in the tang area, we have glass all the way from here, all the way around, all the way to here. So we got 180 degrees. There's absolutely nowhere for that action to bounce around in there anymore. On the bottom, you can just see the edge of it where the glass came up to about where my thumbnail's at. We no longer have steel to wood fit. There's absolutely no steel touching wood. We have steel touching glass. We have glass touching wood. Good, rock solid. None of this recycled milk jug stuff like some guns we're going to do. I have another one, we're going to do that maybe a little bit in the future. This is going to totally eliminate the flyers that we witnessed out of some of them targets I showed you the other day. That's it. Glass bedding 101. All right, there's where we were shooting from. That is a 100-yard bench, and this is 100 yards the opposite direction. That's what we just got done shooting. 5 shots, Hornet VMAX. 11 grains of 296 on this side, 12.5 grains of little gun over here. Same overall length, same everything. Shooting a pretty tight cluster, bringing them, remember them flyers before were quite a bit out, bringing them all into a basic group setting. It's nothing more than glass bedding, people. It's not very difficult, it's not very expensive. The nuts and bolts of it, you gotta have a solid platform. Need a good stock. You watch any of my other videos, you know I'm playing with the A17. I've got that in an aftermarket wood stock. That is shooting real tough. I'm going to glass bed that. That video will be coming up again. Just show you the importance of good bedding. Take care, YouTube. Thanks a lot.